since that is totally as awful as you could possibly get, let's talk about another thing that was just terrible in so many ways. The movies. Did you guys like those movies? Because I know that there's a lot of people that have a cult following for them.
The first one is watchable. After that, they're awful.
Although the movies do have the best line reading in the history of cinema. Too bad you will die.
I actually went to, this is a little embarrassing, but I actually went to opening night to go see the first movie because I was so excited. And I was really, really disappointed.
Were you dressed up when you were waiting in line?
No, I was not dressed up, but I did go to opening night to go see the first Mortal Kombat film, and I went with a group of my friends who were all big fans of the video games, and we were like, holy shit, that was kind of stupid. So I did not end up seeing the second one until like 10 years later, or 10 years after it came out or something like that. And, it was even worse. But I was really disappointed, because I was so excited. It's like, how it is when you're younger and you get so excited about a franchise or something like, oh, my God, they're making that into a movie. They're making it into a TV show. It's going to be awesome.
Let's specify, it still happens now that we're older.
Oh, yeah. And then it almost never lives up to your expectations. It's like, oh, well, thanks for ruining my childhood, as they say. But
to be fair, you just pay to watch the opening credits of that fucking film. That's the best thing about the film, is the fucking opening theme.
Well, no. That was not the best thing. The best thing was the fucking techno song.
Yeah.
That was the best part. Do. Yeah.
It's so odd that has so much more vitality to it than the movie. People are like, this song kicks ass. Movie's garbage.
When you hear that song, you think, maybe the movie's not too bad. Maybe it is good.
Yeah, then you watch it and you're like,
yeah.
Funny thing, that movie is the only Blu-ray I own.
Really?
What?
Why would that be the one? So you could see in high def the shitty special effects?
Because I pre-ordered Mortal Kombat 9 back in the day. It was the bonus that I had with it.
So I was going to say, you had to have
own...
gotten it free somehow.
Shaun, you actually own a Blu-ray player, and that's the only one you have for it.
I own an Xbox One. That's got a Blu-ray.
Okay.
All right, this is a little bit more forgivable.
No, he bought the Blu-ray player just so he could watch the Mortal Kombat Blu-ray.
Well, he got the knockoff Mortal Kombat spelled with the C for that one.
The funny thing is, right, because I pre-ordered the game, I had it for the Xbox 360, so I had no Blu-ray player for it, so I had to borrow my brother's PS3 to watch it.
That's so bad to be like, can I borrow your PlayStation? Why, you want to play a game? No, I want to watch Mortal Kombat, unfortunately.
Hey, at least you have electricity in Wales, right?
Just about. But to be fair, though, at least Mortal Kombat had a sequel on like the Street Fighter live-action film.
Yeah, that Street Fighter one's actually not as bad as a lot of people give it credit for. Like, it sucks.
Have you heard about the backstory behind the making of that?
Oh, I just assumed that there was no backstory.
No, I mean, the making of it's pretty crazy. Like, Jean-Claude was, high off his ass most of the time. Raul Julia, am I pronouncing his name right?
Raul Julia,
yeah.
Yeah, he was like on his deathbed, like he was about to die. Like I think he died like a couple weeks after the filming. And the director, this poor guy, he's trying to balance all this craziness, and they had to like prop him up, and like almost have somebody stand up behind him, holding him while he was doing his scenes.
Huh. That's odd.
Pretty sad.
At least Kylie Minogue looked fit.
Oh, yeah, jeez. And what's her name? Isn't she in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? The one who played Chun-Li?
Oh, yeah, she is. She plays May in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, kicking ass back then, kicking ass now.
Dude, she looks exactly the same, man. She's like 50 or something. She's amazing.
I actually kind of dug that movie as a kid. That was like cheesy as hell, just enough. Like it wasn't like Super Mario Brothers bad, which was just like, God damn it. But obviously it wasn't good. Like, you take Blanca and you make him just like some army guy who's a little bit green. But
she's in Agents. I just looked up. She's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she played Chun-Li, and she was also the voice of Mulan. I forgot that.
Huh.
Yeah, there you go. Got the Disney tie-in.
Yeah, she looks amazing now.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
she really does.
Crazy. She's like 50 something. It's insane.
51, yeah.
How has what's her name from who played Sonya in the first Mortal Kombat movie? How's she looking nowadays?
Probably not as good.
Bridget Wilson? I think her name is.
What is her name? Yeah, Bridget.
Yeah, Bridget Wilson.
To the Google.
Back in the Mortal Kombat and Billy Madison days, she was she was top notch.
Well, she hasn't done a film since 2008, apparently.
Doesn't look too bad.
Maybe she had kids. Maybe she got married.
Yeah. Maybe
Veronica
she was just
Vaughn.
like, I already did Mortal Kombat, my career's peaked. Odd thing about casting, the person who was Johnny Cage in one of the movies, or actually both, was it the same guy? He was the same guy. He was in the running to play Cyclops in the X-Men series.
Wow.
Which would have been really, really odd. And they probably would have killed him off a lot sooner. So like, God damn it, we have Johnny Cage on set. Can like Wolverine just stab him or something?
I actually like Johnny Cage was the only character on there that actually did a good job.
To be fair, that's kind of true. Like he was like, you know, the fun of the movie because Liu Kang was just like this wooden, you know.
Jackie Chan, what do you expect? And Raiden was just, I don't know what Raiden was smoking, but fuck me, I want some of it.
I like that Raiden was played by Christopher Lambert, who also did Highlander.
Highlander, baby.
So I thought that was kind of
Wonderful
appropriate.
Highlander 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about more bad films.
I just love the casting decision where they're like, so we got this like kind of Japanese guy with this like Vietnamese hat. Let's go with Highlander. That's exactly who I would have thought of big casting. It's like so terrible. But that film tried. I mean, they tried to make a story out of it. They paired up Sonya and Jax, and they had like, you know, Goro kinda looked real back in the day.
You should see him in Blu-ray.
Trust me, I shouldn't.
I'll watch that later. I'm gonna dig it out from my cupboard and I'm gonna watch it.
But that movie is just, oh man, and even worse is the second one where they just immediately kill off Johnny Cage. It's just like, God damn it.
Ah, that's bullshit. I'm never watching that.
It's not as bad as killing off, you know, the characters from Aliens at the beginning of Alien 3.
I actually haven't seen Alien 3. But, you know.
Are you serious?
These movies have been around so long enough that spoilers don't count.
Okay.
That's kind of being like, well, you know, Bruce Willis is a ghost.
Aliens?
What?
Okay, the two, besides Ripley that survived, you know, Hicks and Newt? Do you remember them? I can't believe I'm revealing this to you, Tony.
I don't remember. I watched the Alien movie when I was like a kid, and I haven't seen it since then. I don't remember much about it, honestly. I gotta rewatch them. That's on my rewatch list.
Wait, Bruce Willis is a ghost in Die Hard? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why they're...
The fucker can't die.
That's why there keeps being extra movies that they keep making, because he's in limbo.
Yeah, you remember his catchphrase, yippee-ki-yay, boo!
Oh, I'd watch this. You know, what the hell, why not? I'd watch Already Died Hard. So a lot of people, back in the day when we were kids, and when other people were in college on this podcast, I remember people going nuts about the Mortal Kombat movie coming out, and they were just like, dude, it's the best thing ever. You see, you know, Scorpion, he's like, come over here, and he fucking kills him, and then you go to see it, and you're like, this is the best thing ever, because it's got, you know, fake Goro and shit. A couple years later, you're like, wow, this is awful. And a lot of people, of course, you know, you can make fun of these movies all you want, but any movie back in this time period had the same stupid, cheesy special effects. They rebooted this whole idea. They tried to do a YouTube series, and eventually it was going to become a movie. The director for that got approached, and they basically told him, like, yo, this is pretty good. You should do an actual, you know, reboot film out of this. But apparently that didn't happen. Something broke down where he was working on other projects, and that was about 2-3 years ago or so at this point. I don't even want to try to pronounce his name. Kevin something or other was the director in mind. But he was going to do Mortal Kombat Rebirth, which... that was the short film that he did, but that was basically the pitch, essentially, for doing the reboot thing. Did anybody check that out? I've heard good things.
No.
Never.
I dabbled. and then I watched.
I've heard the web series is pretty good. I've never watched it, but I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's Mortal Kombat Legacy, I think the web series is called.
Yeah, that's right.
I had never actually watched it, but I heard good things about it too.
And that's
I
got some
actually
pretty...
knew one of the writers, Todd Helbing. He was a writer for Spartacus back in Los Angeles when I lived out there, and yeah, I mean, they tried. It just seems weird where the medium makes a big difference. I mean, it's like, why? You guys know movies, you guys know video games. Why does it not work to translate a video game into a movie? Why is it almost always so horrible? Why do you think?
I'd say it's terrible the other way around too. Most video games based off of movies are awful too.
Yeah. Unless they just, like, throw it all out and they're like, well, we'll add extra levels and stuff. Like, well, GoldenEye was good. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think part of it is that they kind of half-ass it, or at least most instances that I can think of off the top of my head, is because they're kind of relying on the name itself. They're like, hey, you like this, then you'll buy this no matter how terrible it is. That's what I think. I think maybe they're just lazy because they're counting on the brand name. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think part of it is probably that most of the people who adapt the video games into movies are not gamers. So they don't understand the games. They don't understand what makes them work. So they just think, And I think the laziness kind of comes into it too. Between those two things, nobody can really nail down a good movie based on a video game.
I think they're also very gimmicky. Like, you look at the Doom movie, and they're like, we're going to have this part where he actually is in first-person shooter mode. That'll be, kind of like the game, and it's like, well, then that's just watching a Let's Play. It's not,
I think that's the only part I actually enjoyed.
Well, I think a lot of it is, all good movies start with good stories, and video games don't necessarily tell a story.
It's true.
A fighting game is it's a fighting game, and you may have like the story mode, but it doesn't necessarily lend itself to a different medium. And it's unfortunate because there are some great video games out there that tell compelling stories, but for whatever reason they've never, like Final Fantasy, at least 7, I know that game really well. What a great story, it's like really good, but they've never really been able to translate that into a good movie. Castlevania could be a really great film. And I think they've been trying for a long time to kind of get that made, but for whatever reason, it hasn't worked. So it's unfortunate that good stories or, video games that do tell good stories just have not been filmed yet.
I still think that they can do a Mega Man movie.
I'd rather watch
think
Mega
somebody
Man
can
and
pull that
fucking
off.
Resident Evil for the fucking 15th time.
Did anybody see Wreck-It Ralph? Was that
Yeah, that was
Ralph
good.
was excellent.
Okay.
No, it's on my list of to see, but I heard it's great. Nobody said anything bad about it that I've heard. So
There isn't enough Mario. There you go. That's your bad thing.
I'm looking at this cast list for the Mortal Kombat Legacy, and they've got some pretty big names. Michael Jai White for Jax. They got Casper Van Dien.
Black Dynamite.
They've got who's the name that I just came across a second ago? Shit. Jerry Ryan, Sonya.
7 of 9.
I think the guy who's
Jerry
the Iron Chef guy is in this too. I think he's somebody. Iron Kokoro. I think of that every fucking time. It's ridiculous. Poor guy. He's crazy though. I mean, just seeing him at the beginning of Iron Chef where he bites that fucking pepper or whatever and he's all super happy and does like backflips and crap, like no wonder he's in this. But I've wanted to check it out. I've never gotten a chance to really watch it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, and a lot of people said that like if they were going to make a Mortal Kombat movie, they should use this kind of template. Looks like they got a long list of characters. Ermac is even in this.
Oh, Ermac is great.
That's a crazy thing that they actually create a character out of a glitch.
Mm-hmm.
And that everybody thinks it's a character. Ermac, that must be somebody else. He's probably the shit. Like
Ermac,
Kano,
he's great.
Kenshi. I don't know Kenshi. Who the hell's King Gerard?
Liverpool's captain.
Oh, here's something. Kung Lao is Liu Kang's brother, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something that they established like pretty early on? Because I remember coming across him when my buddy was playing the Shaolin game, and it was just like, oh, who's this guy? Is that like Raiden's son or something? And it was like, no, this is Liu Kang's bro. And I'm like, so what? How the hell did that happen?
Everything I find, it says it's his best friend, but are they actually brothers? I don't remember that.
Oh, maybe he just meant like, oh, it's his bro, like that kind of thing. Like they just fist bump a lot.
All I know is that guy's got issues because he likes to cut people on off.
Well, we're in the Mortal Kombat world. What else are you gonna do?
Well, you know. How about buying flowers first before you cut his dick off? You know, I know if I was about to get chainsawed in half, I would like to have a steak meal. I like to, I don't know, get it up before.
Like to get taken out to dinner before you get fucked.
Yeah. You know,
Well, I think a movie like this, you know, or anything related to Mortal Kombat, you have to have good fight choreography. So, like, you know, the story really doesn't matter that much. It's simply a structure to get to the next fight. You know, just kind of move the story along, move everything along, and let's watch some cool fighting. That's what it's all about.
Reminds me of the show I watch on Monday nights.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, something like that.
Reminds me of WMAC Masters. So here's a question. Now, Ronnie and I, we already know our answers to this, but there's always been this back and forth. Who's better, Scorpion or Sub-Zero?
Scorpion.
Sub-Zero.
Who's better? Who do I like playing as better? Like, in general, I'm going to have to go with Scorpion.
Scorpion, because he would melt the fucker.
You got 2 for Scorpion, 2 for Sub-Zero. What did you say, Will?
Sub-Zero, come on. I mean, he
Yes.
can freeze you.
I
He can
mean,
freeze you and do whatever he wants.
they're both fun to play as. The people that I played against, though, it seems like Sub-Zero is the one. The people who want to use the cheap, like, bitch tactics, we called them in high school. It's like it just
That's exactly
freeze,
what I did.
uppercut, freeze, slide, uppercut, freeze. It's like you couldn't do a goddamn thing.
Block and do the little kicks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't
How
know.
else am I gonna
I like
win?
both of them. I like both of them. I'd say, I don't know. Playing, I'm probably better as Sub-Zero, but I like them both. If I have to pick one, then I'll go with Scorpion.
Would you guys say he's probably the franchise player?
Yes.
Sub-Zero, yes.
I mean,
No.
a lot of people
Or
think
Scorpion.
Raiden, a lot of people think Liu Kang, Johnny Cage to some people, but it seems like Scorpion's kind of their main guy.
Yeah.
Seems
say
to be on
they're
the cover the most often, you know.
Well, Scorpion
Yeah.
was DLC for Mortal Kombat 9, and I think he's going to be DLC for Mortal Kombat 10. So
You can't just play him?
No, not Mortal Kombat 10.
Oh, that's dumb.
He was DLC for the game that they did for DC Universe.
Yeah, the Injustice Gods Among Us.
Just this one, yeah. He was DLC for that. My bad.
Actually, that spawns out a good topic. There's a weird connection that they've got going on. They had Scorpion and Injustice, and they had the DC versus Mortal Kombat Universe game.
I don't care what anybody says, that game is the fucking dog's bollocks.
Is that good or
It's
bad?
right?
That's good. That's good.
I don't know if the dog's bollocks is like that's the shit or it's the shits.
It's the shit. It's fucking great. The story was awesome. I don't know what more people needed for it, you know? You got Darkseid, you got Shao Kahn, they combined. What more do you want?
Are they combined in that game? I never got to the end of that. I only played a little bit of it.
You know, sure, Captain Marvel was a bit OP, and so was Superman, but you know.
Who's the Joker's counterpart in that? They have like a balancing system, like
Oh god, there was no balancing system, that's why everybody hated it.
No, it's just you just pick the character. I mean, there's not really a counterpart.
I remember when that first came out, I went into Best Buy to pick up like some batteries or something stupid, and they had like the installed game system where people could play it. And this one dude was playing this little kid. The guy was playing as Joker. The kid was playing as, I think it was Superman. I can't remember for sure. It was somebody who really should have beaten Joker. And the dude was just kicking this little kid's ass, laughing so hard because he thought it was hilarious that he was beating this little fucking like toddler. And the kid's just getting all upset because the Joker's, you know, like shooting his character and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That's kind of amazing. But that was a little odd. I mean, I played it for a little bit. And of course, I played as Batman because Batman's the fucking man. But I thought it was a little odd that you could have these characters that couldn't really do like the fatalities and stuff like that. That was a little bit of a cop-out.
I mean, with that one, that's one that when I first heard it announced, I was really excited. And I was like, oh, man, I'm going to get that. I'm going to play it. I'm going to love it. And I waited and I read the reviews. And most of the reviews that I read for it said it wasn't so good. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait. And never ended up playing it. So in my mind, I have no real opinion now, just of what the bad reviews that I've read.
If you can find it cheap, it's worth getting. You know, I don't think you should, you know, spend $50 on it, but if you can find it somewhere, it's fun. It's fun to see those characters together, you know.
I'm surprised they didn't add more Mortal Kombat people to Injustice. You would think that Scorpion and then, you know, maybe Sub-Zero, maybe Shao Kahn.
They added Freddy Krueger. What more do you want?
What's up with that, by the way?
I don't know. This year they got a lot of movie titles. They got the Predator coming in. They got Freddy Krueger. They've got Jason coming in. I don't know.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like they are, you know, killers and supernatural and stuff.
So you can have Jason fight Freddy.
Yeah.
In a video game. That's awesome. Come on.
Speaking of bad movies.
Oh,
I actually enjoyed that film.
I like the movie too. It's fun.
I like that one.
I like all the Jason films.
I hate every one of those movies.
That's another one I went to go see on opening night, Freddy vs. Jason.
One of these days, you're going to go opening night, and it's going to be like a Godfather or something. You're going to be like, finally!
The thing is, I only see like 1 or 2 movies a year, so this kind of tells you a little bit about my, you know.
What?
Yeah.
Are you seeing Age of Ultron?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely seeing I'm seeing
He's too
Age of
busy
Ultron.
watching people play games. Come on.
Exactly. I'm seeing Age of Ultron. I'm definitely seeing Star Wars when that comes out. But
Yeah,
other
right.
than that, I don't know, really. I don't know. That's a different show, I guess. We'll talk about movies, but
Yeah, there's no way that that I would go midnight to see Freddy vs. Jason. Or any of these movies. I mean, I've never been a big horror fan, but it's kind of cool that they're adding them into the Mortal Kombat stuff, because why the hell not, right?
yeah, I think it's a good idea. I thought it was cool that they had Freddy in Mortal Kombat 9. The only thing that I didn't like, and I know I mentioned this to you before in our off-the-air chat, but is that it's the new Freddy from the reboot. And I grew up with the classic Freddy. That's the design that I like best for the character, and I'm
Why
used
the
to.
fuck would they use the reboot Freddy?
I don't know exactly. That's what they
insane.
did.
That movie was horrible. That's one of the
It was
worst
terrible.
movies I've seen. It was awful.
Aren't they the same?
No, they look different.
Just like burnt guy with a shitty sweater and some knife gloves?
They tried to make him like, darker, of course, and more gritty, and there's big differences though.
Yeah, they tried to make it less comedic, and that was one of the things that I liked about the original Nightmare movies is that they were so campy and comedic and
His
joking.
personality, he was hilarious.
Is there an alternative skin where he's Rorschach? Or the dude from fucking RoboCop? That'd be kind of interesting. Fuck, have Rorschach in one of these games. He kills people all the time in that goddamn movie. I'd like to see Ozymandias versus a bunch of people and stuff. They go Watchmen versus Mortal Kombat. That's how you get around the DC no fatalities thing.
You heard
Because
it
everybody
here
killed
first.
everybody.
Talk
Make it
about
happen.
bad films. What? That was awful. Watchmen. I can't watch it. It puts me to sleep. Every time I watch it, it puts me to sleep.
What, Watchmen you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I
Don't know
like it.
why.
I mean, it's not great, but it's fine.
It's so depressing.
Puts me
It's
to sleep.
Alan Moore just basically going, "Hey guys, you know that everybody sucks in this world? Well, they do."
And we're all going to die.
Yeah.
I
The only
thought-
way that we ever get cured is if we all murder each other.
Was it Owlman? Is that one of the characters?
Night Owl.
Niall, he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah,
The other
he's all
guy,
right.
the other
Patrick
is
Wilson.
fucking awful. The one with the sock for the face.
That's Rorschach.
That's Rorschach.
Yeah, Rorschach.
Yeah,
Good old sock face.
I do have to
sock
say,
face. And put me to sleep.
I appreciate the decision to always have Dr. Manhattan with his dick covered when he was like 1,000,000 feet tall, because then otherwise that would have been a little uncomfortable.
That was a conscious choice by the filmmakers.
God, imagine seeing that in IMAX.
Yeah, this like 200 like.
You're just kind of like, well,
God.
I feel emasculated.
Someone's compensating.
For the longest time when that movie came out, I just kept referring to him as Dr. Manhood and stuck to Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Mandick.
But back to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do have to say I enjoyed Kratos in Mortal Kombat 9 in the PS3 version. I thought he fit in pretty well.
That is a good character to throw in there.
He
For a
made
series that has like so many repetitive characters, like let's just palette swap a bunch of ninjas, they can really bring in a lot of outside characters, can't they?
Yeah, they totally could.
What are some other people you got like to see thrown into a Mortal Kombat franchise?
Terminator.
Terminator would be kind of cool.
Terminator and Chucky.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, Chucky, yeah.
It'll be the Yoda of the Soul Calibur world.
How about Indiana Jones or, Star Wars people?
I feel like
Throw those
Indiana
in there.
Jones would probably handle like Nathan Drake did in like PlayStation All Stars, like that Smash Brothers ripoff. I could see that. Let's get some Nintendo characters. Let them really fuck shit up.
Right.
Yeah, they've had some practice with the Smash Brothers. They're into fighting.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong versus Goro. I would see that
Oh.
fight.
Hell, that I'd watch Diddy Kong versus Goro. Beat the shit out of that little fucking monkey.
And then you could
I
have like Pikachu and Raiden get the lightning characters going.
You could have what's his name, Snake, against somebody like Jax, like one of the military kind of guys.
See, I always wanted Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat, but they never did it. They did Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which was shit. They should have done Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter instead.
Yeah, why haven't they done that? Is it just a matter of like the two franchises don't want to?
It's because Capcom didn't want to have their characters written off.
Because that would be like a huge seller.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you can only have so much variation on the game. You got to do something different.
But I said, I don't want to see Ryu get sworded off. Ryu's the man.
I always liked Ryu and Ken, but
Well, power swapping it.
of course after the movie came out, it was Guile for a little bit. But
The movie, which one? The animated or the?
no, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one.
Yeah.
I like
Well, it's
Shaun
a little
Lee because
odd.
of the kick.
Yeah. It's a little odd, though, playing as Guile when your hair is about the same size as the rest of your body.
Did you play the live action Street Fighter video game?
No, I don't think I
No.
did.
I played exactly the same as Street Fighter 2, but with Jean-Claude Van Damme and everybody. It's fucking funny as fuck.
What is it, like motion capture? What do you mean?
I'll see if
Yeah, I
can
think
find
so.
it.
I kind of remember it.
Was the really fat dude that was E Honda, was he awesome in the game like he was in the movie?
Probably.
That dude was the man. I don't know why they're not doing the Street Fighter thing, though. That'd be really cool to see if they added more of those.